All right, greetings to you, my dear viewers and listeners from all over the world. You are welcome to this episode of The Truth with Ben Jokes, your number one political talk show. Now, the APC's National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, came out and threatened Peter Obi after Obi's New Year message. He said Obi had crossed the line with that message and that he should be ready to face the consequences. Many Nigerians have come out to attack Felix Moka for his threats against Peter Obi, and Obi responded as a goal. He wrote, "Have I really crossed the line? I asked the question because my New Year message has now led to threats against my life, my family, and those around me. While I have received all sorts of messages, one Mr. Felix Moka has gone to further accuse me of crossing the line and has warned that I will face the consequences. I find it necessary to share this message again and urge everyone who has not seen it to watch." So he shared the YouTube link to the video of his New Year message, and it continued, "If I have truly crossed the line, I invite anyone to point it out, as I remain committed to upholding decorum. However, I will not be silenced in my resolve to speak truthfully, especially as our nation continues to drift toward undemocratic practices. We are increasingly transforming into an authoritarian and repressive regime where freedom of expression is being systematically suppressed. May God help us create a better and freer society for the sake of our children. P.O. Obi cannot be silenced. But it is such a pity that the APC have left the gunmen, bandits, and hunger that are terrorizing the country to begin hunting media personalities, harmless civilians, and most of all, Peter Obi. This is such a shame. It's a sign of defeat. They know they have been defeated and rejected by Nigerians, and now they are just chasing shadows. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this, Nigerian health sector was on heat as they blasted Tinubu back and forth for publicly encouraging service chiefs and army generals to seek medical treatment abroad instead of in Nigeria. This move by Tinubu shamed even his best supporters because they all fled the internet as soon as that update began making the rounds. And concurrently, a story on the security situation in the Southwest began making the rounds, and the details of this story shows how far the Fulani invasion has gone in the Southwest. It will shock you. Before I give you details of these top stories, let me quickly show you these updates. The first one here is a video, and I'm actually putting this video up here as comic relief, pure comic relief. Watch the newly recruited defender of APC, Daniel Bwala, blaming the failure of the Tinubu regime on the population of Nigeria. What a joke. See the video.
The issue here is the fact that nobody is quarreling with. Everybody seems to have agreed that there are certain policies that should have come through, but how those policies are managed. So the approach looks like knee-jerk in some instances look tokenistic. That is the challenge. So that is why perhaps, despite some of the efforts we've seen releases of funds, but it's not moving the needle as it should move. So Nigerians are constantly complaining. And whatever model of economics you use, whatever you put out, there's something called being witnesses of personal experience. And that is the reality of Nigerians. So whatever gain you put out, Nigerians don't see it. If they don't see it in when they step out of their houses to buy food, travel by road, or some of this basic at the end of the day. You get my point, right?
I get it, but I disagree in part. Let me tell you why I say I disagree. When you use the generic term Nigerians, the assumption is that there is an assessment in which the majority of Nigerians have said that. Now, I know you don't have a data. You have not polled any statistical data to arrive at that. So your own is assumption, but the assumption can be a reality given that we have a large population of Nigerians. What I will say, rather, is that the economic model, however fantastic and wonderful it is, it will also take into cognizance population. So, for example, if the population of Nigeria is small, there will be these visible signs that you're talking about within 18 months. Whatever investment you put, if the population is large, you know that the growth will have to be slow. As an economic expert, I'm sure you must have come across this analysis that was given, that for Nigeria to match what is expected infrastructure-wise, there must be on a yearly basis an investment of $10 billion on infrastructure alone. This is economic analysis arrived at by experts in the field of economics in Nigeria. Now, that $10 billion, my brother, if you convert it into Naira, you will see that you're already challenging the entire budget of all the areas that we're talking about in Nigeria. So and that's the very basic of economy. When you have limited resources and then you have things to do, you have to begin to look at which one we can touch now, which one we can talk later. And even those ones that we're doing now, whether it has touched a lot of people. For example, you cannot deny the fact that in December, there was a policy directed by the president that those who were traveling for festive season should access transportation fare for half the price of the value. But because the population is small as compared to the population of Nigeria, you would say that it has not impacted on generality of the people. You can also look at it from example in the area of agriculture. There have been improvement, whether you go to the northeast, northwest, south, or everywhere. But because we have a large population, the impact is not seen in the way you're saying. So I expect contextual intervention from you to say that to either agree or disagree, that population-wise will mean that the growth cannot be very visible at the moment. But we have testimonies, and we have testimonials of people who are impacted by that, and they are ordinary Nigerians.
Wow, what a funny man. I'm just enjoying the madness that Daniel Bwala is displaying all over the country. Now, the first thing this video reminds me of is this popular tweet by Bwala. The human brain is unique and miraculous. It works and functions optimally 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, until you join APC. Then it stops working. Bwala's brain has actually stopped working, just as he predicted would happen if anyone joined the APC. He said they have testimonies of people who have been positively impacted by Tinubu's solutions. So when you give 100 to 200 people some relief items, you conclude that you have made impact as a federal government. But your policies affect the entire nation negatively. But when you make interventions, we have to confirm it from one or two testifiers. Where is the sense in that? And now you are complaining about the population of Nigeria. If you knew you didn't know how to handle the population, why did you run for office? Peter Obi was out there talking about how to handle this massive population of Nigeria and how to bring positivity out of it. But you guys snatched and grabbed it, and now you are complaining about the population? What a joke. The next video here is another one for comic relief. Tinubu traveled all the way to Ghana to attend the inauguration of the new Ghanaian president, John Mahama, but illegitimacy caught up with him once again. Instead of the president of Ghana calling him the president of Nigeria, he called Tinubu the president of Ghana.
Honorable members of parliament, Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Ghana, and special guest of honor for this occasion, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Heads of Government and Development Agencies, Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
You heard that. Confusion everywhere in Africa. And there have been very hilarious back and forth between Nigerians and Ghanaians on X after their president called Tinubu president of Ghana. Many Ghanaians began saying, God forbid. And some Nigerians were telling them that it's not just God forbid, though, that whether it was a slip of tongue or not, the whole of Ghana must go into 21 days prayer and fasting to make sure they wash away that pronouncement. If not, calamity will begin to befall Ghana the same way it is befalling Nigerians. Wow, you know how funny Nigerians can be. Now, let's take details of the top stories. First is that attack on Tinubu by the entire leadership of the health sector in Nigeria. And next is that scary update coming out of the Southwest as the Sharia invasion continues to gain momentum. Sharia law has not even been implemented in the Southwest yet, but Sharia fighters are already in the city center. Let's start by taking that update regarding Tinubu versus medical doctors in Nigeria. Look at how the papers reported it. Bwala Tinubu has approved $20,000 foreign medical treatment, bulletproof SUVs, and cooks, among other benefits, as a retirement package for service chiefs and generals. Tinubu has approved $20,000 foreign medical treatment, bulletproof SUVs, and cooks, among other benefits, as a retirement package for service chiefs and generals, which the Nigerian Medical Association, the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors faulted. The Punch reports. The president of the Nigerian Medical Association, Professor Bala Audu, emphasized that any retirement benefit received by government officials should be invested within Nigeria. Speaking on the upgraded packs of the military brass, the NMA president noted, if they want to give them government benefited medical treatment, cooks or whatever, I think they should give them all their benefits in Nigeria. That is what I believe. Whoever wants to receive benefits, whether service chief or Mr. President, it should be in Nigeria and not abroad, he insisted. The president of Medical and Dental Consultant Association of Nigeria, MDCAN, Professor Muhammad, demanded that the Nigerian healthcare system should be transformed to cater to Nigerians' healthcare needs. My main concern is not what they are giving, but the fact that it is made official that the medical treatment has to be abroad, when, in fact, in most situations, when they go out, it is Nigerian doctors that they are going to meet. So in that situation, we need to make sure they are taking good care of the Nigerian healthcare providers, he said. He added that the decision to make provision for foreign treatment for the retired officers signaled a lack of confidence in the local health sector. On his part, the National Association of Resident Doctors President, Dr. Tokpe Osundara, noted that medical tourism is the bane of the health sector, stressing the need to address it urgently. The treatment they go abroad to get can be gotten here in Nigeria. Besides, what is stopping the government from providing state-of-the-art equipment in our hospitals or upgrading the hospitals? It is not like we don't have Nigerian doctors who can do some of the things they travel abroad to do. But unfortunately, rather than prioritize our health system, equip the hospitals and make it efficient, we would rather spend the money elsewhere, thereby improving their economy. What a shame. You heard that. And this got many APC supporters ashamed and furious. This one, Olanusi Akintayo here says, my only problem is the foreign medical trip approved for these generals. If Tinubu actually did this, it shows that he is not serious in building Nigeria as he claimed. I don't blame him. It is you, Olanusi Akintayo, that I blame. Because your brain is empty. That's why you ever believed them that they wanted to build Nigeria. What was the sign they showed you that made you believe them, other than ethnicity? And Adekunle Oderinde here says, foreign medical treatment and not even military hospital in Nigeria to save foreign exchange back home. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations to Nigeria for what our docility has brought upon us. And Divine here says, even Tinubu is approving amounts in foreign currency. What happened to the Naira? Is dollar now our currency? Oh. Tomorrow they will claim they are fighting to make the Naira strong, yet they approve monies for themselves in dollars. Now, let us take that update, that strong update coming out of Southwest Nigeria. Look at how the Daily Post reports it. Bandits relocating to Oyo from Northwest. Makinde cries out. He spoke at the 2025 annual Interfaith Service for Workers held in Agodi area of Ibadan, the state capital. He said the year 2024 was challenging, particularly in terms of safety and security. We had incidents of fire outbreaks, armed robberies and kidnappings. However, in 2025, we will redouble our efforts to address these issues. During a security briefing this morning, I learned that some bad elements from Northwest are relocating here due to military heat in their zones, but we will find them and deal with them. During my birthday retreat, bandits had camped less than 2 kilometers from where I was staying. This underscores the seriousness of the situation. The governor further charged traditional rulers to report any suspicious movement in their area to security operatives. He assured residents of the state of their safety. To our traditional rulers who are custodians of our domains and to all residents, this is no joke. If you see suspicious movements, report them immediately. For us in Oyo, bandits will have no foothold. I will not sleep until every inch of this state is safe, Makinde said. Now, underline that fact. He said during his birthday retreat, bandits camped 2 kilometers away from where he was staying. This tells you, because anywhere a governor can stay, you should know it will, of course, be within the city center. So for them to camp 2 kilometers away from him, it means they are already in the city center. You know, I was telling you how these guys were pushing, they started from the outskirts. And Yorubas in the outskirts were fleeing into the city center. Now they have found their way, especially with this new talk of Sharia in Oyo State. They said they want to begin the Sharia court on the 11th of January. They want to start the first one to inaugurate it. And some Yorubas are saying, no, it will not happen. They are going to fight them. That is why these people are already camping. So that Sharia war, they are Sharia warlords. That is what they are there for. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Fabulous Omonifade says, some weeks ago, there was Sharia law. Now bandits are coming into Oyo. They should first go and arrest everybody that spoke in support of that Sharia, including that Oba. He should order Amotekun to go after them immediately. This might sound brash, but this is the way to go about it. I am telling you, it is Sharia warlords that are gathering, waiting to start terrorizing the state if they don't allow them to implement that Sharia court. The governor should seize everybody who spoke in support of that Sharia right now. And this tweet here says, you allowed the Sharia court conversation to happen and seemed to be signaling a green light to them. Why wouldn't they come after all? You people in Oyo and Southwest have planted the seed, so expect it to germinate bountifully. Sharia law is not something you joke with. Once you hear about it, you reject it vehemently because it comes with all these baggages, banditry, kidnappings, and all. They encourage it. Forties here says, where is the Nigerian army in this situation? Why does it look as if the Islamization using Sharia and terrorism is sponsored by some people who also control the security architecture? Why is it that when a state is targeted for Sharia, bandits start terrorizing them? Where is the DSS? These are very valid and important questions, and I know the answers to all of them. The APC right from the top are in support of this, and don't even say that Tinubu is Yoruba. How would he allow that in his region? I am telling you, these guys will sacrifice anybody, anything, just to hold on to power. And Ayelabo here says, what we need to do is to give marching order to the security watch and overrun them, not crying out, but serious action against them. Take the war to them before they settle down. Foreigners cannot know our house more than you. Give them message to take to their maker. That is the way to go. But Olaoluwa here slightly disagrees. He says, they have resided there for long. One of my drivers almost got killed by those animals last year. His hand was cut off, one of his eye butchered, his head sliced with cutlass. It took the grace of God that he is alive along Ogbomoso Ilorin Road. Just run when your vehicle breaks down. Yes, they started wreaking that havoc 2 years ago. As a matter of fact, last year it intensified, but to be located 2 kilometers away from where a governor held his birthday retreat, that is far too much. They began, venturing into the city center towards the end of last year. I remember reporting it here. And now they are beginning to find their foot. And I know the reason why. This Sharia court that they said they want to implement on the 11th of January, they did not just jump up and started saying that. They had put their plans in place. It may have taken them like 3 to 4 or 5 years, to do everything until they agreed on that date. So the whole creeping in of these guys is for them to have people on ground that they will use to attack the Southwest if they don't allow them to implement their court. But we will keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes. We have won the Southwest. Anytime you hear any mention of anything like Sharia, you must all unanimously rise against it. If not, your region will very soon descend into wars that you will not be able to finish in so many years to come. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Na I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.